There was a lot of anticipation about the 100 meters in Seoul in '88, and Ben Johnson was the guy. He went in as the world champion, the world record holder. He had won a couple of medals at the '84 Olympics in the 100 meters and the 4x100, bronze medals. He had won the world championship in 1987 in Rome. He ran an astounding 9.83 at the time. He defeated Carl Lewis, and then the war of words had become kind of astounding between he and Lewis. Lewis had said after being defeated at the World Championships that people are coming out of nowhere, alluding to the fact that that was Ben Johnson. And all of a sudden they're winning gold medals at the World Championships. This is going to come to bear at some point in time. That's the marquee event at any Olympic Games, is the men's 100 meter final. And when your country has got the guy, then everybody's looking forward to it. Johnson blew out of the blocks, and the look on Lewis's face, which is one of astonishment that, holy cow, how does a guy run 9.79 and win the Olympic gold medal? Everybody in the press row, the broadcasters row, was watching that 100 meter final. It was huge. He defeated Lewis handily. He spanked him. Lewis was not a well-liked figure. Even the Americans didn't really like Carl Lewis all that much. He was kind of mouthy, arrogant, and here's a Canadian good guy, in a way, beats him. And I think there was a tremendous feeling of elation in the whole Olympic park at that time, not even limited to Canadians. Wonderful world record race. And in such style, raising that arm like that and looking over. I mean, he was fantastic. The phone in our apartment at the Media Village rings in the middle of the night. It's an English voice saying he's so-and-so from Reuters calling to get my reaction concerning Ben Johnson. I was half asleep, and I said, well, as a Canadian, this is wonderful news. I know I'm not supposed to cheer. I'm a member of the media, the broadcast team covering the games, but I think the country's feeling pretty good about itself that our athlete is the 100 meter champion. And he says, no, you don't understand. He's tested positive. And then there's a huge shock that comes over, a disbelief at that point in time, because in the West, they knew the news while we were asleep. That wave of emotion that hits is, incredible, and one of disbelief. And I think a lot of the headlines in retrospect were, why Ben? Why is it this guy? Why is it the Canadian guy that gets caught? It was heartbreaking that there was all this national celebration that suddenly stopped. And we went into a period of recrimination and reflection. The Dublin inquiry followed after that. In retrospect, it was a pivotal moment in Olympic history because Canada began to take the lead in the whole fight against doping. The Dublin inquiry, as you know, the examination of Charlie Francis, Johnson's coach, Johnson himself, and the airing of all this dirty laundry took place in Canada. And in what other country would a sports inquiry become front page news for a long period of time? And then, of course, WADA starts. It's a Canadian that's the first head of WADA, Richard Pound. And so Canada at this point in time, because of what happened through Johnson, or sparked by that, becomes the leader in the anti-doping fight. And seeing what's happening now, you see Canada continuing to take that lead. Becky Scott is now on the WADA Athletes Commission. She's the one that's very much driving this fight. Athletics Canada and the Canadian Olympic Committee are heavily involved in the fight for clean sport. And I think that a lot of this stems from what happened back in 1988. Canada was going to be the major player because of what happened through Ben Johnson.